My best friend April had a weird way of seeing things, always through rose-colored glasses. She was strangely optimistic about pretty much everything, and she could genuinely talk about anything for hours on end. She was my best friend for 13 years, and we even went to high school and college together. When we were on spring break, we decided to visit family and then take our last few days to go camping up in the mountains. I told her that I would drive, but she insisted that she could drive the entire way. I decided to sleep since it was around 2 in the morning, and I only woke up a couple of times. The last thing I remember that night, one sharp jerk of the car and blaring car horns. I woke up in the grass, shards of glass stuck to my face, maybe a broken arm. I scanned the road for April, and she was just sitting in the grass, staring off into the tree line. Her mouth was open and there was blood dripping from her neck. She was looking away, her eyes focused on something in the distance. Something that I couldn't see. Her trance was broken when we heard sirens. At the hospital, April was inconsolable, with a shell-shocked look on her face and a 1,000-yard stare that could burn through mountains. Hey, are you okay? I asked. I knew we had just been through a lot, but she just looked so odd. You mean, you didn't notice? She said, looking wide-eyed. Notice what? Jim. He disappeared after the crash. Did you hit your head or something? Jim? Who's Jim? She stopped moving and looked at me angrily. You mean to tell me you forgot about your goddamn boyfriend? She shouted. What the hell are you talking about? I don't have a boyfriend, and I've never met a man named Jim. She shook her head. He was your boyfriend for 3 years. You brought him along with us. Don't you remember? I think you need your head checked. It was just me and you in the car. But you guys went to the gas station to get snacks together. He was there. I stared at her for a solid minute, and there wasn't a trace of a joke on her face. At this point, I thought she lost it. Was it from the crash? She started tearing up and holding her head, rocking back and forth, back and forth. You're telling me that I've dreamt up 3 years of memories of some guy you have no recollection of. He even spoke to me before he left. Left? Left to go where? She wrung her hands until her knuckles turned white. He got out of the car just smiling. He was smiling, goddammit. Holding his arm. It had to have been broken clean in half. There was so much blood. He walked into the grass and said that we didn't belong here anymore. Then walked into the tree line. She trailed off, tears going down her cheeks. This isn't right. He was onto something. We don't belong here. What do you mean? I sighed. That crash was meant to kill us. Wipe us from existence. April, I think you need to sleep. You're not in the right mind right now. She turned, facing away from me, shaking. We don't belong here anymore. The next morning, I woke up pretty late. April was already gone. I guess she went home, and she was probably still mad at me for last night. I called April's roommate, Erin, to pick me up. Hey, did April get home all right? Is she still mad at me? I asked as I got into the car. Erin looked at me sideways. Who? My heart stopped. Come on, asshole, stop messing around. Is she still mad at me? I have no idea what you're talking about. Is that someone that you met from school? I didn't answer. This had to be a joke of some kind. I opened my phone and looked through my texts and photos to find her. She wasn't there. Nothing. I started hoping that this was some well-thought-out plan to fuck with me. We arrived at their place, while I rushed to April's room to yell at her for all of this. I swung the door open and no one was there. It was just an empty room. And there was nothing to acknowledge that she ever existed. I made Aaron drive me home, where I ripped every fiber of my house apart, looking for a picture, a note, anything, just even a scrap of her that could tell me that she was real at one point. I even ripped apart our old high school yearbook. Nothing. And even now, I'm just getting this overwhelming feeling that I don't belong here anymore. What if I disappear along with Jim and April? Tomorrow, I'm going to talk to April's parents. There has to be an answer. There has to be. If I don't exist in time to make the update, I hope this stays as a reminder that I was here. I existed.